it going, everyone? And guess what time it is? It is Sunday coffee break. And if you've noticed, I'm over at the arcade. This is probably where I'll be doing most of my coffee breaks from now on. And what you hear in the background is the furnace running. And hey, I've got my coffee and I'm ready to talk about nothing. I didn't do much this week. I worked on a couple of systems. I have a couple of videos that I did. One of them was on a N64 controller and an N64. Not a whole bunch coming up. Yesterday's video I put out, that's kind of is something that I've been working on for a while now. I have one more probably next Saturday, and I still have to finish that up, so there's going to be probably two more on the Sony TC270 reel-to-reel. So there'll probably be two more videos on it. It was in pretty gummy shape. If you watched the video yesterday, you'll know that it was. I know not everybody likes those types of videos. They want to see me doing this stuff. You can see I'm kind of getting started over here, doing some work on some of these, getting them turned on and playing with them, making sure everything's okay. Our Star Trek that was a basket case or was about ready for the trash pile is, I burn up a jackpot. I burn up a sleeve in one of my flipper coils. I think I have my end of stroke switch isn't working right on that, so when I was holding the flipper, I think the whole power of the flipper was holding it, and when you do that, it actually cooks and overheats, and it'll melt the sleeve in it, and then it stopped working. So that I got to work on that. Gorgar, I was playing Gorgar, everything was working fine on Gorgar, and then it started I lost a lot of my solenoids, so we have a solenoid problem, and I don't know if it's going to be in the fuses or what. I just haven't brought everything over. I have to get a toolbox and that set up with all my spare parts for over here, and most of my tools are over here for working over here. I don't have a meter or anything like that. So once I get everything all gathered up this week, next week I'm gonna come over and start working on machines and getting the rest of this stuff turned on and making sure everything's working, so we're ready to open. EMs, if they sit for a while, they get kind of weird. You'll get switches that get dirty, because as you play them and keep playing them, the switches are kind of self-cleaning. If you watch a switch when it closes, it actually kind of rubs on itself when it closes. So if they're not dirty, just a little dusty and all that, and you keep playing them, they'll keep the switch clean. But when they sit for a while, which some of these have been sitting for 6 to 8 months, we're going to have dirty switches on a lot of our EMs. So we'll start going through them. I'll start doing some short videos. Probably next week I'll probably start filming or videoing or whatever. Some short videos on getting our machine straightened out over here. And I have a lot of stuff to do upstairs that I'll probably post some videos. Of what I'm doing upstairs. I gotta get my closet straightened around upstairs for inventory for the retail, and I'll be working on that, and I'll probably be doing some videos on that stuff too that I'm doing over here. We're going to start getting started on doing more arcade videos again. The more I get back into these, the more I want to do more of it, or more on. So I have a lot of that stuff that's going to be coming up for the people that really enjoy watching the arcade stuff being worked on. Let's see, Pool Sharks, when I just turned this one on this morning, I had a settings error I just had to send it back to factory settings. Everything's good on it. I think I may have a bad CMOS battery in it. It may not be holding the values. Or this one, I'm pretty sure Pulsharts has a rechargeable in it. If not, we'll get after it and get her fixed. Our Lightning, the new board that I used in Lightning, see I have a display acting up on it, so we'll have to work on a display on Lightning. It's just all the stuff that happens when they sit for a long period of time. And like I said, a lot of this stuff has been sitting for 6 months or so we're going to have just little weird things to work it back out on them. Back to Lightning. The board I used was a MVRAM. MVRAM? No. It has a new CPU in it. But the problem with it is I can't set it up to take quarters. I can only have it on free play. So we're going to go back and we're going to redo a CPU, a Stern 200. I have the original EPROMs for it, or PROMs, and we're going to build refurbish, redo, whatever, a CPU for it, an original one, so I can put it back to original state, and then I can use that board in something else. That board, I can set that board up to take quarters on any other machine except Lightning. And when I bought it, I didn't know. So, no big deal. We'll get her going. Knight Rider, I was playing Knight Rider. Knight Rider's fine. I think pretty much bulletproof on it. It wasn't in too terrible shape if you watched the series on it, so it was in pretty decent shape when we got it in. Just a lot of cosmetic on it needing done. Star Trek's the one that'll probably be a problem child for a little while until I get all the nasty little critters worked out of it, and then it'll be fine. Same with Gorgar. The Williams, that has a new board set in it. It doesn't use the original System 6 and driver board on it. So that's why it has a brand new one in it. I think that's a decaying dog that's in it. Yeah. Gorgar has a decaying dog in it. And we'll work through that. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a fuse probably on the board, or we got a back pin or something like that. I don't think I had to change the pin connectors in that one when we got it fired up. A lot of it was working. We just had a bunch of cosmetic on the play field and that to do on it. So it acts up every now and then. Still, because I think it needs repinned, but we'll find out when we get into it. Gorgar 4th player display doesn't work on it, never has. If you hook it up, it burns the big resistor out on the board, so the display's got a shortened plasma display on it. And when I come across one, we'll put one in it. It doesn't need it to be played now. Very few people will be playing 4 players, but I'd like to have it done. If I do LEDs on it, I have to change them all. On the Williams, you can't just put an LED on it, because you have the master board that runs the plasma display, so you have to have a plasma display if you're going to run all the original stuff in it. Like the Bally's you can mix and match. You can put a plasma in it or a LED, and it'll run just fine. Because all it does is just enables the 5 volts for the LED, and it blanks out the 200 volt or 186 volt, I think is what I have them set at. Same with the Stern. They're the same way. You can run LED or the original plasmas in it. So you don't have to, if you have one bad, you can just buy one and put one in. You don't have to buy all four. I buy the ones from Wolfpack, where it's a DIY display. Why? Because I enjoy putting them together and building them. I enjoy doing that type of stuff. So, you know, but if you don't, you can buy them already put together and change it out. In fact, I think some of them, what did we put those in? Oh, I built some for Black Pyramid. It's not here yet. Black Pyramid's still in storage. I think I've talked to you about Black Pyramid before. Black Pyramid is one of my first solid states that I brought in to redo, and it has to go back to the garage because when I first started doing them, I didn't know everything I needed to know. So now I've learned a lot more, and that one we have to work the play field again. They call it planking, but it's actually, the play field is actually, the plywood is actually separating. I re-glued some of it back down. I've got it pretty flat, but I think we need to really look at it hard and see if maybe we need to find another play field for it, or if I absolutely feel like it, we can level it out and, you know, redo all the artwork on it, which Black Pyramid, if I remember, isn't that tough of a play field to touch up and repaint. Not like some of them, like Lightning. Lightning's pretty intricate. There's a lot going on in that, on the play field, but you know, I can do it. It's not hard if you just set your mind to it and just do it, you know, get her done. Videos. Video games. I have 3 sitting in the garage. I've talked to you about those, and the status is still the same on those. Same with my Sharky Shootout and Scorpion. Scorpion, I need to get that one out. That one, I screwed up when I did that one. I put LEDs in a Williams, and that's a no-no unless you redo the driver board or put a new driver board in it to accept LEDs. It just does not like them. So I think I kind of may have blew up PIA on that, and we'll just go back to incandescents. I want to keep that one stock as well. LEDs are nice, but on the older machines I'm finding I like the original incandescents on especially on the EMs and some of the older solid states. I kind of like the incandescents on them. I like to add a little bit of LED to them, but not a full LED conversion because I don't think it looks all that great. We did Knight Rider, we did some LEDs on it, especially on the pop bumpers, because the pop bumpers were in such crappy shape. And plus I had the bodies, the clear bodies, and the colored ones and colored tops, so I thought we'd mess around and do that one. It turned out pretty good. I kind of like it. There's a lot of people out there that don't like LEDs where incandescents go. Like Ron from Joe's Classic Video Games. He does not like incandescent or LEDs where incandescents go, which I understand because the more I look at LEDs on the EMs, the more I'd rather have the old incandescents. But I'm sure we'll have some work to do on our videos over here, and I have other video games to work on, and we just kind of at a standstill right at the moment until things kind of break loose and start bringing in a little bit of money so we can get that stuff done. The machines in here, I have most of the parts to fix. I kept a lot of that stuff on hand, so I have it at home. You know, coil sleeves, coils, and all that stuff I have on hand to fix that type of stuff when they peter out on us. So that stuff we can go through and get done. Let's see, it is nice being over here with heat. Can actually do something. We've been opening up for a couple of hours, usually Friday and Saturday on the retail side, and I know there's nobody up here yet. So it's just basically coming over and start getting cleaned up and getting everything ready. Like I said, I'm sure I'm going to have quite a bit of work to get everything back in tip-top shape like it was when I brought it over here. Now, let's see, I've gone over the LED situation and what I do and don't like, video games, EMs. Pretty much that's about what's going on. Like I said, I'm going to do some work upstairs, get our inventory all put away and on shelving so I can see what we have and what we need to take back down to the outdoor market. We're coming up on only about 5 weeks before we open up down there, which is good. Need to. Need to, I have the room upstairs that I need to work on as soon as I can, so I can get my PA Games of Skills down here and get them running so we can make some money on those. Those are really big money makers. A lot of times one of those machines will make more than what the whole arcade will make in a week in one day. So those have to be up and running. Just it was kind of hard through the winter without having heat to be able to do that. I was just going to set them up here on the floor and, you know, put a sign out and let people come in and play them. Because there's, excuse me, there's a lot of people that around the lake that like playing them. They have one over at the little store, or two. They have two over at the little store, but they're totally different than what I have. Back 'em up. So I need to get them going. I don't think the bar up the road here has them. If they do, I haven't heard anything. But that's in the works. We still have a lot of work to do around here as far as having it actually winterized and being able to stay open during the winter. We didn't get the floor insulated here, so the floor is cold when it's cold, I guess. The floor would be cold when it's cold. There's no insulation in the floor, so I have the insulation for it. We're going to spray foam it. Just that I can't do it myself. Need help or pay somebody else to do it. So it may be that I end up doing it. I have a buddy of mine, Dave, he'll come out and help me. I may even be able to get him to do it, then I'll help him. One way or the other, we're going to have the floor insulated for next winter. But yeah, that's about what I've got for you this week. I'm going to try and get some stuff done and this week so I have a little better coffee break, Sunday coffee break than what I've been doing. It's kind of hard to report or tell you anything when I'm not doing much. So I hope you enjoyed another short version of the coffee break. When there's more going on, they'll be longer. So I hope to see you on the next coffee break, which should be next Sunday. Until then, see ya.